For some of the Inkwell community, nature is your only hope. If you want to find peace, if you want your mental health to get better, you have to leave your cities and your towns. Because if you do not do that, you will continue to have a hard time in life because you will be reminded every day about what you look like. People can't help it. People hate you without realizing it based on how you look. And you can't change that unless you get cosmetic surgery or dental. But if you can't even do that, why would you stay in society? Why would you want to stay in a city or town or around people when you are reminded every day, when you see people in relationships, when you see people happy and you're not happy? So why would you want to be reminded of that? Why would you want to see the faces of people when they try not to break out in laughter, when they try not to give cringed looks, which only remind you of how ugly you are? And many of us inkwells, are not necessarily deformed. Maybe, some of you guys are. But it's not simply about looking normal. And that's what parents and people get wrong in general. It's about looking attractive. There is a difference. Looking normal doesn't make you good looking. It just makes you bland. And for me, I question even the legitimacy of being normal looking. Because how I look, my own perception, is not necessarily reality. You can't look at yourself in the mirror and always accurately say, okay, I look normal. You can't. You have to see yourself from another person's perspective. The real mirror isn't the one in the bathroom. The mirror is other people when they interact with you. You know what I'm saying? For many of us, the only hope is nature. And if there's a way, I would suggest some of you who do have access to a car and a job, I would suggest do your best to leave this country. If you're in a Western country, my advice to you is leave. Look up techniques how to survive in the wild and live in the wild away from people. Because let me tell you something, you will never find peace as long as you are around people. Now me, I've been trying to break addictions for some time now. And these addictions have nothing to do with drugs. Because I don't do drugs. But it's more of a it's more of a stimulant, but not in the way you think. And that's as far as I'm going to go with that. And I've been trying to break it for a long time. And it's extremely difficult because when you're around people, when you're in society, it's almost like your brain's like, it tells you that you don't really have a reason not to. It's only when you're out trying to survive that you don't have time to think about that stuff. But for many of you, there is a way. And unfortunately for some of you, there really is no way. If you're intellectually competent, meaning you have an okay IQ, there may be hope for you. Unfortunately for those whose IQ is below average, maybe they're really short, there's not much you can do. And I'm really sorry about that. But you have to find a way to either cope or escape. Escape the life that you were brought up in. And I don't care if that includes turning away from family completely and never seeing them again. You have to do something to find serenity. And if you don't, what will happen for some of you, if you're extremely weak mentally, you may end up Control-Alt-Delete yourself. And is that something you really want? Most people that say they want to do that really don't want to do that. They just want to be at peace. But if you can't find that peace, you got to find some way to attain that peace. And that peace isn't going to come from people, because you were dealt the cards of life. You were given the hand of punishment by whoever's up there or nature. Doesn't matter. You have to figure out some way to find your peace. You do. And if you don't, worse things will happen. Not just for you, but maybe for other people. I mean, just look on the news. Look at all the violence. Look at all the mass violence going on. You know, that's a result of people being forced to stay in society that don't want to be in it because they don't have any reason to. Do something. For the love of God, do something. Find your peace. Find some way to escape. Some way.